So when the data comes in, you have the top level entry point into the system, into the pipeline, the overall business pipeline. So you collect the data, goes into the CRM, you get your contact entered, you get your organization entered, it goes through the pipeline, gets assigned to a salesperson.
Mm-hmm.
Your autoresponders, your welcome emails, all of those things. Then in your pipeline, you might have different rules and stages, but then you have automations for opportunity won, opportunity lost. When opportunity is won, it'll take a look at what product and service. So there's automations on the types of products and service for mathematical equations, but opportunity won in the pipeline, we'll see, okay, what service was purchased. Then you create an additional business process from there, which automatically, now we've already collected the CRM data, user, contact, organization. We've already know what the services purchased and the price. So that will automatically populate an insertion order and an invoice, can be sent depending on where you want it to go. Use logic on how that process goes. Automatically create the paperwork required. That's one process. And then once that comes back and the customer has a secured payment type and signed agreement, then you automatically start a project management pipeline. So you'll have stages in your sales pipeline and you can mimic that. So I want to share something with you and share my screen with you. Let me see if I can. So this is how processes work. So for instance, on the opportunity won, opportunity lost, that's a good example. So if you say the opportunity was won, yes, it was won. Then you can go down this process. Now this is about content, this particular screen. You want probably to use a Mermaid. I can give you the link for that there, where you can draw it all out. So in order to really formulate exactly what you want to automate, you want to draw it out into a diagram like this.
Yeah, okay.
The second I receive an email that I have to produce images, I will do this thing here. Now here it says see highlighted parts in the 0GPT window and cut out those parts from the Google document. You probably have a different process.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's the next step? It goes to graphic design.
Yes. So they would, the client would request the images, right? We would receive that information. Depending on what the request looks like, it's either going to go to graphic design or we're going to respond with an email that has, you know, contains a folder with all of the requested specs.
Okay, repeat that again.
So we would be getting the request from the client, and based on what they're asking for, we're either going to have a standardized folder that we can share with them, or if there is, you know, a specific nuanced request, we're going to submit that to graphic design for creation.
Okay, so then that would be an additional form. So the way I see it, which we haven't drawn it out yet, so this is just a good exercise right now.
Yeah, yeah.
But if so, this is the part that really this is the part that takes the most time, is drawing it out. So
Yeah.
You understand the request, so that has to be quantified. So I always see it as in another form. So let me stop sharing and see if I can get something else that I can share that will illustrate this.
And so it would be a form that may have, you know, request standard package, request additional images. And if the standard package, now that's a trigger that we're going to end up sending that folder. Or if it's request additional images, it's a trigger to email graphic design with a request.
Well, yeah, because on the form, if you have predetermined products and services, you have a list of products and services. So if you imagine, you know, we have a $500 package, a $1,000 package, and a $1,500 package. So you get the request, you open up the form, and it's just a drop down. Which one did they select? Product 1, product 2, product 3. If it's product 3, it's the $1,500 package. That $1,500 package has a description in a predetermined process. Like, the $1,500 package is 2 of these and 5 of those. So you can, from that point, do the mathematical formula. You could even open up Canva, open up the software, create the project, create the folder, create the canvases of the specific sizes, name it. So if you go to opportunity 1, meaning you're in your pipeline, they've already gone through the whole process of being a lead and being entered into the CRM. They got contacted, they're interested, they want to go. Now it was an opportunity or a converted lead. And they say, yes, I'm interested. I want to buy package number 3. The salesperson says, hey, they want to buy package number 3. Automatically goes over for documents. They have to pay and they have to have documents. Now the salesperson doesn't collect money, somebody else does. So it goes off automatically. There's human involvement to collect the money, or it's automated where they could go on to a payment gateway, depending on how you have that, because you could automate that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Payment gateway, they pay. You still know they're buying package number 3. So package number 3 comes along, and that is a predetermined set of deliverables. Those deliverables include 5 of these things of that size, and this is the tool that we use. Then there's a custom API that goes in, opens up that piece of software with the proper keys or username and password, either enters into a specific folder or creates a specific folder, adds the description, does the canvases. Now you have to stop for the human involvement, because we're not going to use AI or automation to create the design. The task has to be completed. So there's a difference between an automation rule and a task. So the automation pushes the data to the next stage, and then it stops until the decision is made or the action is completed. So you create the task for human involvement. The human goes in, does the artistic work, clicks a button in the project management software that says this task has been completed. That's another trigger. So now once that task is completed, that rule is run to where it can download the deliverables, send it off to the customer for approval, and then the stage can be set, whether it's a completed project or the status is set to waiting on customer. So it's able to start and stop. I'll see if I can share the training, but it's very fuzzy. Let me see if I can find something. This was the one that we used in our latest podcast. So let me see if I can go ahead and share again and see if this will help you. It's kind of impromptu, so I'm not really sure if it's going to help, but you tell me if it does help. Can you see this screenshot here?
Yes.
Okay. So in this screenshot, this is an automation for somebody that wants to request paid time off. So we just created an automation. We called it, actually, this is fake. It's in the Flowlu software. It's just called a PTO request. So you name it. It could be new customer onboarding. It could be, graphic design, project initiation, whatever you want to call it. But this person is requesting paid time off. And these are the stages right here. So first you have to review the policy. Then the manager either approves and denies it. And then you notify HR. Those are the stages. In order to request it, now this is an editing process. It's not the run process. I'm on the wrong screen. Run. Okay. So what you do, you have to hit a button. You have to trigger it. So this just happens to be our system.
Mm-hmm.
You click run, and then it opens up this form. You have to fill it out. I'm an employee and I want paid time off. So, okay, I got to go to this policy button. This is what I want. Just like going to ordering pizza, but I'm requesting time off. I'm going to say Christy wants time off. My employee, I'll select who I am, how much time I requested, when it starts, when it ends, and when I'm going to return to work, and the reason. Now this continues. You can scroll down. There's reasons and additional things, and then I hit save. This is another trigger. As soon as I hit save, it triggers the next step. Once saved, you can see the request in the business process pipeline. So here it is. I've now created this, but there's a automation rule in the background that the manager has to approve it. There's two things that has to happen in order for this person to get approved. First of all, they have to prove that they have read and understand the time off policy and that their request meets the guidelines. Basically, they're saying, don't even bother filling this out if it doesn't meet the guidelines. Here's the rule. Does it match this rule? Yes or no? So the person has to do that. And then once they fill it out and they say that it's within the guidelines, the manager can approve or deny it. So this software just happens to bump it out to the left. And then there's notifications in most of these softwares. You can see the little bell notification up there. So the boss, Paul, got a notification, hey, Christy wants time off. So he checks his messages every day. And here it is. Okay, this is what I want. I reviewed it. It does meet the criteria, which that's what this is saying, is that automation created requiring to act on something, which is, yes, I reviewed the policy and yes, it meets the guidelines. Now it goes to the next step. Let me see what this says. Yeah, in this example, when the requester completed the previous task, the automation rule sent the request to the next stage in the pipeline where a new decision is required. Conditions were set for the decision process, triggering different outcomes based on the decision. For example, so if the boss said, yeah, you can have the time off, then we probably have to find somebody to fill in for them. If it was rejected, then the person just is going to end up calling in sick that day. You know, but these are sending it down different pipelines, you know?
Yep.
Okay, so this is starting to track information. So now it's gone to the next stage for management approval. Okay. And this is tracking the information, telling you the steps on what's happening, decisioning, these are trigger points. And then here's the boss, approve or deny. And the boss goes back in, checks the little notification rule saying, yeah, it's on the next stage. It's time for you to act. Here's your bell, do something. Oh, okay, I have to click this button. Okay, I approve or deny it. And then there you go. And this is just teaching you how to actually edit those stages and what to do in the pipeline stages. So you can see when it started, it was here. Now it's moved over here. And that's the gist of it.
Yeah, right.
You know, it can be complicated. It can be a very complex process or not.
Okay. Yeah, I think I can see so many different use cases for automation in this space that if we can, you know, button down what we want our processes to look like, what they are at the core, right? We can really pinpoint where we can improve and optimize our strategies and make things easier on ourselves. So
because it's gonna free you, it's gonna untie your hands, it's gonna declutter your mind, it's gonna set you free.
Yeah, no, absolutely straight across the board for everyone involved. If we can get everybody on board, they don't even realize how happy they'll be.
Yep, and they don't have to get on board. All they gotta do is fill out a form. So what you can do is you can connect processes like Legos. So if your sales pipeline is one process, it's already built. So at the very end of that, like dominoes, you tack on the document process. And then at the very end of that, you tack on maybe the payment gateway. So you can build it piece by piece. You don't have to see, you know, like this part-time off it's just one little process. It's not a whole. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Let me know if there's something that you do. What is it that you do for this company that you can see is a pain point for them, or something that they repeat over and over again? I know you mentioned the graphic design.
Yeah, I think for the marketing department specifically, our internal, it's really about the communication with our venues and getting assets in their hands efficiently. We're up to probably 90. Wouldn't be surprised if that surpasses 100 this year, probably very likely. And there's one person in marketing at the core of it. There's one graphic designer at the core of it. And so I don't necessarily feel like, graphics could be super automated, but as far as receiving those requests from the venues and then either getting them those images, there's some nuance in like securing marketing packages. I think those things do have to be kind of ripped through by the human eye. So that might not be the best use case, but yeah, I think transferring data is one opportunity where we're, capturing these lists and then importing them, whether that be with our local dance school partners or with our venues, or on the other side of it, like I said, the asset distribution. Those are very time consuming tasks. And then other things like email, but that's kind of a different beast. So
well, that's where the project management software comes in.
yeah.
And everything leads back to the contact.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have, say, the theater, you have probably 5 different people, 5 different contacts. One wants one thing, the other one wants something different.
Yep.
If you have another customer that's a different organization in a different contact, wants something different in a completely different project. So if you have, say, five projects going, they're similar yet different contacts. So everything gets pointed back to the actual content. So let me share my screen again and show you. What am I doing? Oh, I'm hitting the wrong button like I usually do. Oh, wait a minute. Stand by. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so this is print media development, which is the similar thing of graphic design like you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is the work structure. And this is the name of the workflow. So for changing the oil, that's a different workflow. First you do this, then you do that.
Mm-hmm.
For changing the tires, completely different workflow. First you do this, then you do that. Same with this. Print media development, these are the stages. It's the initiation, the planning, design and content, monitoring and control, finalizing and closure. So these, once again, are mapped out where that process, now this is not an automated process. It's just a framework that connects to the contact. So Susie wants 5 of these and Timmy wants 10 of those. Those are 2 projects. Susie's project and Timmy's project are listed in a list view. When you get inside the list view, you're managing each stage and milestone of that project for that individual project. And here are the stages. Execute the agreement, complete the profile, get the improvement scopes, determine type and structure, planning. Here are the wireframe mock-ups, blah, 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 blah. Save a permanent template. And then at the end, begin client nurturing protocols, because we want to make sure that, Susie and Timmy come back for more.
Right.
And then you can have individual tasks and individual assignees. Now, let me go ahead. I got to try to be careful not to share proprietary information. So Let me get into a project and see if I have anything that's something that I can share. Okay, so this is something I can share. It's my own company and I don't mind sharing it. It's not private information. Got to make sure I gloss up and look good. Okay, so here's a couple of views inside of the project management software. It tells you the 16 of 21 tasks completed. Here are the dates between February and December 1st. As you can see, it's one of my own projects and it's past its due date. Here's our project manager. And here's additional settings up here. But here's the main view. Here's here's the customer. It's me.
Mm-hmm.
And here is, I don't have a tag on it yet, but project management workflow is the website development. That's the name of the workflow. It's not print media because it's web development.
Right.
And then I should have added web dev project. I should have added categories, which there you go. So there's an appointment created. So let me go back. This is still main. Oh, wait. Let's just, whoops. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Stop clicking on stuff. Okay. Yeah. So here's the main thing. There's the number of tasks. This is where we are in the pipeline. And then this is showing the different things that need to be created. I've got some settings. This is where we're at.
Okay.
Okay. This is an appointment that I had in June that I didn't click done. I should have just clicked done, but I didn't. Oh, no, it was completed. Oh, okay. So this is, sorry, I'm mistaken. This is a history. So this is showing the history. So at a glance, I can see. That's basically, now you can look at the number of tasks, and here are all the tasks to do in progress. Here are all the ones that are completed and who did them. Now I can just go ahead and drag it over when it's done. Here's the number of documents. There's no documents because I didn't have to sign anything because it's me.
Sure.
I'm not signing my own. But if I was a customer, first would be, say, my estimate or quote proposal. Then would be my insertion order. Then would be my invoice. Then would be the other 5 invoices. Then would be my non-circumvent agreement, whatever's here. And it just tracks it. Now all you got to do is click on the project and everything's there. Everything is here. Here's the work structure, right? And
Yep.
here are the different dates where they started to be completed. And now we're starting to get towards the bottom where it's just not quite done yet because we haven't finalized it. And then it shows you where you're at. Time spent, you could have a list. Let me see if I can get into this particular thing. So this was the person who did the content. It's completed. This was the date. Here was the person and the assignee, which they don't necessarily have to be the same thing, but he assigned it to himself. So he probably created the task and then assigned it to himself. It's not on a task list. It's just within the project. And then it tells you when it was completed, when it was created. It's linked to this project. You can create reminders. So it's all here. I could have subtasks like write content, and I could say, page 1, and then, okay, and then I could add another 1, 2, okay, 0 of 2 completed. These are now to do. So it was assigned to me. Now, is it done? Oh, I need approval, human involvement. Oh, I'm waiting on the client. Oh, it's completed. So that's just a quick overview of what, oh, now I have to get rid of that. Delete task. Entry. Let's see. Oh, okay, good. I don't want to mess it up. So that's where the project management workflow comes through. Now, when you go into your work structure, document improvement scopes, at this stage or this task, you could insert an automation rule that emails it to the customer and says, here's the improvement scope. Is there anything you want to add or remove?
Mm-hmm.
You have to get these things to the customers. And then here's this require customer approval. Get more outlines from MD. So like say for instance, so this is the design and then these are the sub things. So as soon as this one is done, optimal user flows, That could be an automation rule that sends it to the assignee that says, hey, you need to do these things. Then once he clicks that they're done and the outlines for the content are done, you could have another automation rule, send it to the writer. But you could do it all at once. You could just start with just a checklist and he goes in there and checks it off and you're organized. And then 2 months down the road,
Yeah.
he built all the checklists.
Right.
Let's take the thing that's really the most annoying and let's try to automate the hardest thing first.
Yep. No, that makes sense.